Hey, A-Team! Welcome to our Sunday night training. Whew, this one is heavy on my heart tonight, you guys. And I have prayed over this and I've prepared more than I typically do. I usually just get on here and share my heart, which I am going to do, but I wanted to write down some key things just to make sure I don't miss anything. But I have no time limit tonight. I don't want this to be super long because I know many of you are going to catch the replay. However, I want to take as much time as you need if you have questions. So I'm just going to share a little bit in the beginning, and then at the end, I'm going to stay right here and I'm going to answer any questions that you have. And if you do catch the replay and you're not seeing this live, then please write any question in the comment and I will go back and I will answer as honestly as I'm able to. So right now, if you are watching live, go ahead and comment hashtag live and tell me where you're from. Where are you watching from tonight? If you're watching the replay, go ahead and hashtag replay. So I'm going to kind of just start with a little bit of my story with you guys, but I'm going to not spend too much time there. Many of you know it. If you don't, I'll be happy to share more detail later on. But I really want to get into how, okay? So it's pretty important because I really think, we hear these empowering, inspiring stories, and you guys, that's the magic of it, is when you're feeling inspired and in the belief like that, it's huge. But sometimes we need to know, like, okay, but how do I do it? And so I'm going to try to answer all of that tonight. But anyway, my name's Amy. I don't know if I've said that or not, but hi, Jeannie. Hi, Rebecca. Good to have you guys on. Oh, let me say this as well real quick before I get into it. Even if you're watching live, if you have somebody that's not in our group, because they're not an ambassador, maybe it's a customer of yours, maybe it's your mom, whoever, this is not normal, but in light of everything, I really want to give everyone a chance who's genuinely curious. You're welcome to invite them to this group. If you want them to hear this video, we'll probably just be a temporary thing. We don't want to overwhelm anyone with, this is our Plexus family group. This is our culture, but I do want to open this up to anybody who has questions, because I feel like network marketing has, there's a stigma that goes along with that. When you hear network marketing, I know many of you, tell me, when you first heard network marketing, what's the first thing you thought of? Was it a positive feeling or a negative feeling? I don't know about you, but I didn't really have the greatest opinion of network marketing. But here's what I've learned. People don't hate network marketing. They don't like network marketers because we've just done it the wrong way. There really hasn't been a whole lot of training. People start and they're expected to know, what to do as the same as somebody who would be seasoned. And it's a process, you guys. So let me go ahead and just tell you my story, and then I'm going to tell you what we're not, and then what we are, and then we'll get into how, okay? So I have been doing this 6 years. This is my only company, Plexus. I started 6 years ago, but the first time I heard about Plexus was probably 6 months prior to that. I had watched a friend of mine, I just remember seeing her Facebook. She was always posting about, this pink drink, and I loved watching her personally. I thought she was so funny. She really got my interest, but at the time, I didn't have money for basics. We were struggling financially so much. We went from a 2-income family to a 1-income family. I was a teacher prior to being a stay-at-home mom, and I just desperately wanted to be home with my kids. I just had my 3rd baby, and we sold everything basically and moved into a 600 square foot mobile home that somebody just gave to us, and it was, it's what we had to do, and it wasn't my favorite thing to live there, but at the same time, I was so happy to be home with my kids. But that came with a lot of struggle, and so many of you we're finding that now, aren't you? Being home all the time with kids can be exhausting. It can be really hard when you're struggling financially. There were all kinds of stressors going on, but I was happy to be home with them. So when I first started hearing about Plexus, I was interested in the product. I thought, it sounds like a good thing, but are you kidding me? I just thought it was weight loss. And I just thought, I'm not going to spend money on a weight loss drink right now. I can barely afford food. Like, it's just not going to happen. So it wasn't like, here's the thing. When I told my friend no, because she reached out to me, I was liking her stuff and she asked me if I wanted information, and I told her no, and I meant it. I did. I was like, thank you so much, but no, I can't do that right now. I can't afford it. That's what I said. And I knew that, and I meant it. So what she didn't know, though, is I was really struggling with migraines. I was exhausted. I struggled with sugar addiction, like all the things that we know Plexus can help. It was a huge need for me, but I didn't think I could afford it. So I just kept watching her, and every once in a while I mentioned to my husband, and he'd be like, are you kidding me? No way, we can't do that. So I don't know, like, I was looking for a way, you guys. This is why tonight I want to share this, because right now there's a lot of people in a desperate situation, and it's heartbreaking. There are so many people who they went from being like comfortable to like zero, and people who are like, hairdressers, or I don't know, people who just own their own businesses. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but just, people who are just laid off, and just anyone who kind of own their own traditional business right now, it's hard and it's scary. And I was in a similar situation. I did not know what we were going to do. And so I was trying to think of every possible solution. What can I sell? What can I do? What can I, and when I say sell, I meant like my kids' clothes. I didn't know what to do. I was homeschooling my kids. So I was doing homeschooling evaluations. I was substitute teaching, which was difficult because then, like, on the drop of a hat, I had to get my mother-in-law to watch the kids. It was hard. It was really hard, and it wasn't cutting it. It wasn't enough. I was tutoring, anything I could do to make some extra money, and it just wasn't enough. I started to feel really guilty. I started thinking, maybe I'm being really selfish by wanting to be a stay-at-home mom right now. Maybe I need to go back to work. But even that, you guys, it was like an impossible situation, because now I need daycare for 3 kids. And on a teacher's salary, that's hard. Like, I felt desperate, and I felt stuck and terrified. And not only that, with my sugar addiction and my migraines, I mentally was in a place where I couldn't even think straight. Like, I would wake up in the morning and think to myself, okay, how much longer? I get 5 hours before I can take a nap. Like that's what I would think. Like, I just got to get through it. And I hated that, because I just wanted to be home with my kids, and I finally was, and I was just too tired to be home with my kids. It was horrible. I had no idea. And guys, this is why I'm making this. I did not know about the Plexus opportunity. I thought they're great products. I trusted my friend. I was so happy for her. But I did not know that there was a business opportunity. I heard of network marketing. I've been approached by network marketers before. I had no interest. And the reason why is I thought, I don't have money to hope that I make money. That was my reasoning. I was like, you hear all the bad things, but who are you listening to when you hear those bad things? You're listening to the people who have failed, right? Well, something, thank you, Jesus, clicked, and I decided, why not listen to people who are actually succeeding? You know what I mean? Like, why would I listen to all these people who failed? I have my friend here who I trust and I love, and here's the post, the famous post, Amber, I see you on here, that totally changed my life. She wrote, got my Plexus paycheck, and I made enough to cover my car payment, my mortgage, and my products. You guys, that post changed my life. I wasn't expecting to get emotional. I might cry. So many of you guys are terrified to share this business, and I don't know about you, Amber, you can tell me or not, but she didn't share the business for probably, 3 or 4 months at least. I didn't know. At least I didn't see her share the business. And I'm guessing and I'm wondering if she felt weird about, should I share this or not? But you know what? Thank you, Lord, that she did, because something clicked with me. And even if I were the only one that saw that post, that she wrote, that maybe she was really nervous to share, maybe other people got annoyed at it, I have no idea. And honestly, I don't even care, because for me, it was life-changing. And because it was life-changing for me, it was life-changing for Amber too, because I'm a huge part of her team and we've done this together. So when I saw that, it was just something in me that was like, you know what? I mean, if she can do it, she's my friend. I know her in real life. She's not a paid actress. Like, if she can do it, that means it's possible. Was I expecting free trips to Maui and Lexuses and six figures? Are you kidding me? No. I was hoping and praying for $200 a month. I thought, man, if she could pay her mortgage, then maybe I can make $200 a month, so that when we go to Chick-fil-A, we don't all have to split one meal. Or when someone asks me on a play date, I don't have to be mortified and make up some excuse because I don't even have the gas money to go. Like, that's where I was. Like, I just thought, if I can just make $200 so I can get some homeschool manipulatives, or we can go on a little homeschool trip, like, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking of anything else at that time. And so, you guys, I didn't have the money. We still didn't have the money. I didn't have it at all, but I think there was just something in me that thought, okay, the worst that could happen is I'm out a little bit of money and it doesn't work. However, we already don't have money. Like, it wasn't going to make or break us. It cost me $142. That is what it cost me that day with my membership and with my welcome pack. I got a $99 welcome pack. It cost me $142. I chose not, I think we didn't pay a certain bill. I don't even know. But it was something in me was like, you know what? Like, we're already broke. We're already broken. It's not going to change much for us. If I held on to that extra $142, like, it was going to be gone anyway. You know, like, I just kind of had that mentality. And so I decided, and I think my husband, who was way more skeptical than I was, saw like the look in my eye, and I was like, you know what? I have an education degree. You have a master's degree, and here we are barely making it. Something has to change. Like, if we can't afford this now, what is going to change in a few years? Like, how are we going to have our kids in college? Like, what are we going to do any differently? What are we going to do? Like, what if this actually could work? Like, it's working for her. Why not for me? That was my first step, you guys. I went ahead and I joined her, and let me promise you this, you guys. It was terrifying. I didn't know what I was doing. Here's what I knew. I knew she made enough to cover her mortgage. I knew she lost some weight. That's it. That's all I knew. So now I want to tell you some quick things. What we are and what we're not. Let's start with what we are not here with Plexus, okay? We are not a get rich quick fix. We are not a lose weight quick fix. We are not a quick fix, okay? When I did this, I wasn't like, I'm going to give it a few weeks, and if it works, then no. In my brain, and I don't even know why, I must have read something, I don't know, but in my brain I thought, okay, and I'm going to be so honest with you guys, I knew I couldn't afford to keep purchasing products every month. I knew that, but I also knew that I had 1 year with this membership. So I said to my husband, and I made him a promise, and I actually even started a separate bank account because I never wanted to cause harm to my family. And I'm going to tell you, I will never tell anyone to spend money that they don't have, if they can't, or they don't see the value in it or whatever. But and at this point, I didn't know the value of the product. But I said, I will not spend any more money if I don't make the money. And I'm telling you that because I was in a desperate situation. But what usually happens is when people say that, then they stop working. I was not going to stop working because I knew I have 1 year. That's the time limit I gave myself. I just bought this annual membership. I have got 1 year to give this everything I have. We are not a get rich quick thing, okay? We are not about pushing people into things that they don't want to do. If I have to convince you to do what I'm doing, or if I have to push you, if Amber kept pushing me and she was like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And it wasn't something I felt that I needed to do, I wouldn't be here today, okay? She didn't do that. She respected me. She educated me. She loved me. She didn't push me. And I've been guilty of this before, I have been guilty. I've totally failed my way through the top. I've learned a lot. But I've learned, take my word for it, when you have to force someone or guilt someone or push someone into doing something they don't want to do, that's not okay. It doesn't make them feel good. It doesn't make you feel good. And it does not produce anything good. I was ready because she boldly shared her heart. She was there for me. She wasn't afraid, but she waited till I was ready. When I was ready, you guys, there was no stopping me. It's all I could think about. I knew I was ready. I was desperate for a change, desperate to continue to stay home with my kids, desperate for something different. Nobody could have stopped me, okay? I understand that not everybody's there and our stories are the same. In fact, I would say most of our stories, you tried the product, you're not sure. We all have our different beginnings, that's fine. But whether it's business or product, someone has to be ready, and that's fine. And now, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee with the product. So yes, I always highly recommend the products. I always offer everybody the opportunity. But ultimately, it has to come from them. But that doesn't mean that I don't do my part and I don't offer it to everyone, okay? So I'll tell you what I mean about that. We don't cold message people. I would never friend somebody that I don't even know on Facebook or on social media, or go up to a total stranger in the store and be like, hey, do you want to join my Plexus team? Don't do that, okay? And I've done things like this in the past. Again, we learn our way through it. But we're always going to put people over profit. We're always going to put loving and serving people first. And we'll talk about a little bit how we're going to do that, or how we do that. And again, it's been a learning process for me. I'll tell you exactly what I did to get where I am, and I'll tell you what I do a little bit differently now. Who we are, okay? We are network marketing. Yes, we are an MLM, and I am proud to tell you that I am with the network marketing, social marketing, whatever industry, whatever you want to call it. It's a beautiful, brilliant industry. However, it is rarely done the right way. Alec Clark, who's the CEO of our company, he says Plexus is network marketing how it could be done, how it should be done, and how it rarely is. The way that they have set up our compensation plan is just as high integrity and just brilliant as our products. It is where it is a partnership where the company benefits, but we benefit as well. Plexus actually gives back 50% of all profits back to ambassadors, which is pretty unheard of in the network marketing industry. Not only that, but most of our revenue comes from customers, which again is also very rare in this industry. They've also made it where you can actually make more money than the person above you. They pay you for your work. You can start off at low on the totem pole, brand new, and you can make money right away. Whereas a lot of other times you have to, and which is why network marketing has a bad reputation, is sometimes the people down here are doing all the work and the people up here are really benefiting. Well, you get paid very fairly for the work that you do. So I love that, and I love the integrity. Again, we're about building a community. Our whole theme is one Plexus. Here's something that I took for granted, and I want you guys to know this. I see you and Rebecca and Jeannie on here. I want you to realize this. At the level that I'm at, I'm in it's called the Jewels of Excellence, okay? It's a Facebook group with all of the top 3 ranks in the company. Do you know that we share everything? Sometimes you see on pages, I'm going to give you a little secret. Sometimes you'll see on some of our upline pages on the pink link or my page or Sunday's page or Alicia's, whoever, like you'll see their pages and be like, man, are they just copying each other? Sometimes it's because we all saw the same really good idea or announcement from the Jewel page. And what I love is we are like one solid community. Like there's no like, okay, this is what I'm doing, my team, I'm not going to share. Do you notice like how many Jewels I've had speak on our team and I'll go speak for another? I love that. There's no ugly competition. There's no like pressuring people. I don't even know about that on our team. And if you're on my team, honestly, do you guys agree with that? Have you seen it? Because I have not. Like I have seen us work together. The community is so strong and everything is about let's help each other. And it's part of our compensation plan because we benefit, we get my biggest part of my paycheck is what we call the Plexus pay points. And it's basically a profit sharing of the revenue of the entire company. So that's how you rank up and that's how we get paid the most. So it's not like just team sales. Like I don't get paid necessarily from my team sales. Rebecca's on my team. I'm not going to be like, Rebecca, you need to go sell $10,000. You need to go sell this. You need to go sell that. No, I'm like, Rebecca, you need to make sure you have your products, have at least $100 through your site, whether it's yours or customers, but you need to stay consistent on your products so that you feel good and you feel inspired and you want to keep sharing and you want to keep changing lives. Now, if Rebecca goes and has, $10,000 worth of sales, she's going to have a really nice paycheck, but it doesn't affect me one way or another. Well, it does actually, but it affects everyone because we get paid on the whole company's revenue, which is huge. And that's very different and very special in our compensation plan. So just to give you a little glimpse of that. But here's what I want you to know. I want you to expect to fail. So say you're thinking about doing this and you're watching the replay and you're thinking, okay, how can I do this? I don't know this, that, or the other. I'm going to promise you, you're going to fail right away. But the difference is going to be is if you learn from that and you get back up and you keep going, or if you get frustrated and give up. Because the reason why some people succeed and some people don't is 100% it's because of their they don't give up and they learn from what they do and they keep going. Like I have 100% failed my way to the top. I have failed over and over and over again, and I still do every single day. I can tell you so many embarrassing stories. I can tell you, but here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know, right? You got to learn it. It's just like everything. When I was a teacher, my very first year teaching, those kids, those 5th grade kids ate me up alive. I had no classroom management skills. I went home crying many, many days. There were many days I thought I cannot be a teacher. I was not made for this. And then guess what? It got easier the next year and then easier. And by the time my 10th year, I love teaching and I miss so much of it. It's the same thing in any career. One of Danny Johnson's things that she's someone that I follow for training. I remember her saying about a doctor and a dentist, professionals, well-paid professionals in their, field. But what if you had them switch one day, right? With no training, would you want to go in for open heart surgery and a dentist walk in? No. Or would you want to go in for a root canal and a doctor who's never done one before do it? No, it's because they're not smart or not capable. No, they haven't learned it yet. It is the same way with network marketing, but here's what happens, and here's why so many people fail and why so many people have a bad view about network marketing. It's because what happens is somebody just joins. They're so excited. They want to do this. They go and they tell everyone, oh, and I did this. Are you kidding me? I did this. I just joined this network marketing. It's Plexus. It's amazing. I'm messaging every friend. I'm cold messaging. I'm harassing people. They're not getting it. What is wrong with them? Like, don't they understand what this is? I shake them. I annoy them. They tell me no, 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 no. And so guess what happens? I feel like a big failure. I'm not good at this. I just had like everybody tell me no. And by everyone, I mean the 3 people I asked, right? Like, that's what happens. You ask your mom, you ask your best friend, they start saying ugly things. Oh, that's no, I don't want it, I don't want it. And then what happens? You quit. I stop hearing from you. Nope, it's not for me. And then you become one of those people when someone comes to you, you say to them, oh, I've tried that, it doesn't work. Well, I'm sorry, like I said in the beginning, then I'm going to learn for those that it does work for, because if Amber can do it, it's possible. If I can do it, it's possible. You have to decide it's possible, and you have to learn from your mistakes. Okay, so what am I missing here? Let's see. Let me tell you how I made it emerald. I'm going to be super cut and dry, and then I'm going to take questions, okay? And so here's how I personally did it, and a little bit of what I do now, a little bit different. Remember, this was 6 years ago, okay? And so things are different. Things are a little bit different on social media. But here's what I had to do. First of all, I didn't have the time. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the experience. I did not have the influence. Okay, those are the main things that I hear from people. Any excuse that you can think of, I promise you somebody's had that same excuse and they've overcome it and they're succeeding. Like, all those reasons why you think you can't do it, those are called limiting beliefs. The only thing stopping you is this, okay? But here's what I did. I was telling myself I have 1 year and I better get to it. So and no experience. So what I would do is I made a post. I just posted something on Facebook. My magic, one of my strengths is I'm very vulnerable and very personal and very open. And that has worked very well in my favor because I always do it with a positive spin. That has been my thing. You know what? Maybe that's not your thing, and that's okay too. But my best advice is be 100% you. If I try to be Jeannie, as sweet and caring, and I try to, come across a certain way, and I'm like, oh man, she's just so good at keeping to herself and not just blurting out everything. And when I try to be that way, it doesn't work for me because that's not who I am. I know I need to tone it down sometimes, but you be 100% you, okay? Jeannie, you did things, Jeannie added 20 something customers in 10 days. I've never even come close to that, right? We all have our strengths, so be you. But I would make some kind of vulnerable post in the morning around 7:30. I'd like to tell you I got up before my kids. That didn't happen. I'd be like, okay, let mama. But as I'm shuffling them on, I'd make some kind of post. This was before live video even, but I put it out there and it would be something like, oh man, wow, this stuff actually tastes good. I did not have a donut today. That's a win. Do you see how, that doesn't sound like an advertisement. I was pretty good at that right away. So I wouldn't just do a bunch of canned posts. I really would, and there have been times maybe I did, but that would be the key, is be your genuine self, okay? I'd put it out there, but then I'm homeschooling 3 babies. So and I'm not even naturally organized. I think Harley in here, thought I saw Holly a minute ago. She was like, how do you keep track of everything? And I was like, well, I struggle with that area, but my husband did make me a book just yesterday, actually. So it was a whole nother topic. But anyway, here's what I would do. From 2 to 3 o'clock, I would answer anybody who commented on that post. And that's basically what I did. Side note, moms, okay? So many people have told me, I don't have time for my family. This is not, I need balance. I get that. Yes, and I agree with you, but I want to promise you, if you have a balance problem, that's not a Plexus problem, okay? That's a time management problem, and that's, again, a limiting belief. That's not a Plexus problem, okay? Because for some reason, very early on, my husband helped me with this, but from 2 to 3 o'clock, the 2 little ones I would put down for a nap, and then my 4-year-old, he would either be playing, or maybe it was 5 at the time, he would be playing on his bed, or I'd put on a movie for him, or whatever. But I would tell him, listen, just like I did right now, without any guilt at all, no guilt. I said to my boys, mommy is working, I love you, go to bed. So, and I would tell him, mommy's working, unless you are bleeding or dying, you do not interrupt mommy. This is mommy's work time. Isn't it fantastic that mama gets to be home with you? And because I worked until he was 4 years old as a full-time teacher. So isn't that amazing? Mama gets to be here, but mommy is working, okay? But that also meant when I'm playing dinosaurs or wrestling on the floor, mommy is not working. Be where you are, but do not feel guilty about it. I never felt guilty. We'd go out for ice cream after getting checks. After, I think my first check, we went for ice cream, and I was like, isn't this amazing? This is mommy, because mommy's working. This is from Plexus. Yay, Plexus. And I would involve them and whatever, but I didn't feel guilty. Are you kidding me? This was giving me a chance to be home with them. This was giving me more time. That's why even now, this is our full-time income. I don't feel bad when I have to tell them, or my husband has to put them to bed. Nope, this is our family income. We do it together. This is part of the things we do. So, side note. So from 2 to 3 o'clock, I would answer people, and that's it. So here's the big kicker, okay? This is how I got here. And I'm not saying I did this perfectly, you guys. This was just the goal. I am not saying, remember, I have failed. I've done many. It's been 6 years. But this is for overall what I did. So then from 9 to 11 at night, my husband usually didn't get home from work till 7:30, 7, 8, just depended. But he would, by the time he came home, I was exhausted, and we had already had dinner. Again, this was hard, but I did it. But from 9 to 11 at night, when he was usually in with the kids, telling them stories, and he did bedtime, instead of watching The Bachelor or laying and vegging out on the couch and just decompressing, this is 100% what I did. And it is a little different than what I do now, but this is what I did. I looked and saw who was active on Facebook. That's what I did. If you were active on Facebook, I would say, hi, Jeannie. I don't know if you saw that I am doing, I just started taking Plexus. I'm really loving, have you tried it? Or I would say, have you heard of it? Or would you be open to information? Something like that. A very general message. Well, here's the part that may seem overwhelming, but you guys remember how desperate I was, okay? I was just laying on my couch. To me, this didn't seem like hard work. Some people think it is. It was not for me. I was desperate to get out of our situation and I needed to make this work. So I would do that from 9 to 11. Sometimes that would be 20 messages an evening. Sometimes it would be more. Sometimes it would be less if I got in a conversation. But that's what I would do. And so the next night from 9 to 11, when it was time to work, I wasn't scrolling Facebook. I wasn't reading the 200 comments in somebody's argument. I wasn't doing anything, but I'd go right to my messages. And, I made my post in the morning. I answered people from 2 to 3, but from 9 to 11, what I did is I would go to my messages and I would scroll back maybe 5-10 days, depending, and I would check and see who I need to follow up with, who, where we are in the conversation, where we are in the process. And here's the thing, if Jeannie told me no, I'm not interested, no problem, no worries. You didn't hurt my feelings. You're just not interested. We're still friends. Whatever, like I love you, that no problem. How are your kids doing? Whatever it was, but I would just, that's fine. Thank you for telling me. If you totally ignored me and you didn't even answer me, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even realize it because I was too busy going. I was too busy building my business. I didn't even notice until I went to check on you next time. I was like, oh, she never answered. And then I might be like, hey, or I might just totally change the topic and whatever. If there were people I was very intentional about, like if I would go and read stories, because sometimes from 2 to 3, if I didn't have anyone to answer, I would go and read testimonies and I'd be like, oh my goodness, my father-in-law has diabetes. And I'd be like, Dad, I need you to look at this. I really think this can help you. I'm going to send you the story, and so sometimes it would just happen that way as well. But I would just go back and I would check conversations. And then once I was done with that, I'd go back and I would say the same thing. Hey, Diana, I don't know if you saw, but I love Plexus. I'm like crazy about it right now. Have you tried it? Now, there were certain people, and some of you are on my team. Heather, where's Heather? I don't know. Heather, I literally called Heather and I said, Heather, you have the perfect personality. You've got to do this with me. My friend Diana Toth, I called her, Diana, you have to try this with me. Like, there are some people that I just like, wow, these are my dream teamers. I have to do this. But that's what I did. I just asked. But here's what I didn't do. I didn't ask total strangers. If we've never had a conversation before and I don't even know you, I didn't say that to you. If we have any type of relationship, then I would just say, hey, I don't know if you saw this. Are you interested? That's what I did, you guys. That's it. Now, if you said yes, that was even scarier than saying no, because now what do I do, right? So if you said yes to me, what I would say is, okay, I actually have no idea because I just started. This is literally what I'd say. But I will find out for you. And then I'd go to Amber that I joined. Amber, so-and-so asked me if this is going to help with blah, 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 or why is the pink drink pink, or what's this ingredient, or blah, blah. I don't know. Sometimes I would outright say, I have no idea. I just know that I don't have migraines anymore. So, or like Jackie, oh, where's Jackie? Jackie, you guys, Jackie Lopez, she was my first green, my first person that had 10 million questions and I didn't know the answer to any of them. So what I learned is to be like, Jackie, I have no clue. Here's the ingredient list. Tell me what you find. That's literally what I said. And it was like giving her a gift. She was so excited. She loved it. I said, and you know what always happened? They would come back to me and be so impressed. And I'd be like, awesome, great. So here, try it. So you guys, I don't know anything about Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca asked me just the other day about a product, right? Rebecca, what did I tell you? I said, that is not my strength, but I'll find out for you. But you know who is? And I told her, I said, I'm going to end up going to Julie McNeely because she's the one who knows this kind of stuff. So why don't you ask her? And if you don't, get a hold of her, if we can't find it, I'll ask her. But just be honest, that's not my strength. But here's the greatest thing, guys. I'm a 6-figure earner with Plexus. How? I don't really look the part. I haven't lost a whole bunch of weight, right? I still have no clue about half the products. The science does not stick in my brain at all. It just doesn't. But what I could tell you all day long, the stories that stick, and I could give you belief like you wouldn't believe. But, play on your strengths. But I do know where to find the answers, okay? I do know where to find the answers. I let the tools do all the work. When somebody asks me, hey, what is Plexus? Here's what I say to them, 100%. I know, Julie is fantastic with product knowledge. Thank you, Jesus, here's how I got to the top, you guys. I found people who are smarter than me and got them on my team. That's what I did. There it is. Lesson's over. Do that. But anyway, that's what I did. That's how I got it. And then the best thing I would do is when I would start telling everyone on my team, I would be just like I'm doing now, okay, so Jeannie just joined. Jeannie, who do you know? And we just started learning about, I learned, I took the next step, and that's it. Here's what we do a little bit differently now, and then I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to answer any of your questions, okay? So now I didn't have any systems in the beginning. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know, but now we do. We have some systems. We have some pretty fantastic systems, and we have some tools. I didn't have any tools in the beginning. And by a tool, I mean a video, a presentation, a 3-way chat, something that's going to explain it to them so you don't have to. In the beginning, I didn't even have any of that. Now, all I use are the tools. So here's what we do now, okay? I definitely lean more toward attraction marketing. So I basically just really love on people. I keep in touch with people. I actually have I try to anyway, in the beginning of the month, I write down 5 or 10 names that I just really want to love on that month. And I write down 5 or 10 names of my teammates, and it's usually my hardest workers, ones that I talk to the most. And then I write down 5 to 10 names, whatever it is, of people that I'm going to call them my hot list or whatever, people that I find amazing. And here's the thing. If you complain all the time, or you're super negative, or you're just a Debbie Downer, you're never going to make it to my hot list, ever. That's just not who I want on my team. That's somebody that's going to drain me. So I'm pretty choosy about who I put on my list. And these people, I just love on them well. I just get to know them. Well, there have been people, I won't ever mention names, but there was a girl, she's super influential, and she seemed like a lot of fun, and I just really liked her, because after 6 years, I've met everybody, right? So I'm always making new friends online, and I just kind of got to know her, and I found out that we just didn't click. There was something, and there was just something that it wasn't going to happen. So I removed her from my list. I kind of watch and see. But anyway, these people I love on well, and I just talk to them. I share on my stories. I share on my social media in like I said, a vulnerable, non-salesy way. And it's funny that sometimes when I'm doing that, it just naturally either comes up in conversation, or it naturally comes up in conversation, or they just see what I'm doing, and they usually end up asking me about it. So that's typically what I do now. I just really stay in touch with people, and then sometimes people come out of the woodwork out of nowhere. So I do try to follow up with people, but here's what I do. Okay, so I love on them. So let's say they're ready to go. I use the tools. We have what is a Plexus video. We have our Your Health and Wellness. I just invite them. This is called the exposure process. This video I'll send, and I'll just say, what did you think about that? And then they might, oh, I love this, that, and the other. And I would say something, well, does it sound like something you'd like to try? Yes. Okay, awesome. Well, here's what we have, and I'm customer service. That's how I view myself. Take yourself out of the picture. I'm customer service. And I just explain it to them. If they can't, they can. If they do, they do. Either way, I'm here to help. I'm not afraid. I don't prejudge for them and decide what they can afford and what they can't. I don't know their situation, and even if you think they don't have enough money, or even if you think something, don't put that on them. I wish, remember how poor I told you I was? I wish I would have got the $1.99 pack, because 15 days later, we ran out of products because my husband took it with me. But, and I'm not, this is no, this is nothing against Amber. She started right when I did. But if Amber would have known to tell me, like, hey, if you're both, or even ask, like, are you both going to take this? Because you'll probably save yourself like $80 if you get the $1.99 pack, because 15 days later, I needed to purchase another whole triplex. So it ended up costing me more by not getting that $1.99 pack. So offer people and you let them decide. But here's what I love, you guys. If they can't afford it, or if it's not the right time, we have these $20, $19.99 kits now. That is always my fallback. If they say to me, yes, but I just don't have it right now, or I can't, I'll say, I totally get that. We do have a trial kit. It's only $20. Would you like that instead? I just say it kind of like that, and then we have our trial group twice a month, and we're going to actually be having an event each in that wellness group. We'll have something in there every week, so you don't have to wait like a whole week to get, or 2 weeks to get into that group. But that's what I do, and I let all of that do the selling. So do you see kind of the difference now? We love, we serve, and we get people in those groups, but then I do my part. I check in. I don't know if Angela's on here, but one of my friends, she's not an ambassador, but I invited her to our group last week, and it was my job. I invited her. Hey, what can you relate to in there? Does this sound like something you'd like to try? You have that $20 coupon. Let's look at welcome packs. So now, like, that's what I do, and I take them as far as they allow me to go. So anyway, that's it, you guys. That's it. But here's what it takes, okay? I just gave you the how. The work itself is not hard. It's not hard at all. Here's the hard part right here, okay? Here's all the difference. You can do all the right things, but if you do it, people can feel you, okay? You've got to work on your belief. You've got to work, and that goes on even yourself too. Some of us don't even think that they can get to silver, or don't even think they can get to gold, or don't even think you just, I don't know, you have some kind of roadblock. I want you to release yourself from that. Okay, I want you to take yourself out of the picture, because some of you are so worried about what people might think about you that you are robbing them the opportunity to learn about these products and this business. Like, I personally feel like, how in the world can I keep this to myself, right? Don't take it personally, and if they say no, that's okay. That's not your worth right there. That's not anything to do with you. And you people don't hurt you. Okay, that's what I just learned recently. Your thoughts about them hurt you. Okay, we create these stories in our head, and I don't know if Shaylee's gonna watch. So Shaylee's been super busy lately. Really busy. She has another job. She's been working so hard doing all this cast. We used to talk almost every day, but somehow we haven't talked in like 2 or 3 weeks. And in my brain, I thought, she's mad at me. Maybe she quit. I don't want to like step on her toes. I don't want her to feel pressured. And I made up this whole story in my head about, how I've lost her and I failed her and all these things, and I'm gonna annoy her. Like, I still struggle, you guys. I have not overcome all of this. This was yesterday. I reached out to her and I was just like, hey, just checking in with you, because it's been a relief. That's all I've been doing, is checking in with people over this last week or so. Just checking in, just wanting to see how you're handling everything, and just letting you know that I'm here. Like, what can I do for you during this time, like with your business or anything? And I actually said, and this was hard for me, I said, where are you with Plexus? That was really hard for me to say, because I didn't want to, and I saw she left a voice message back, and I was like, oh, okay, like, Lord, just give me strength. She's probably quitting. Like, I just thought, and I pressed play, and guess what? She was like, thank you so much for this message. Please keep me in the loop. I've been working 80 hours. We've just moved. Like, she had all these things going that had nothing to do with me, nothing to do with Plexus. And she was like, I love Plexus. I can't wait to get back. Things should calm down. I don't want to miss anything. Please keep me in the loop. You guys, I made up this whole story, and she was so thankful that I reached out to her. Like, what if we'd switched that dialogue? What if I would have said, so-and-so really needs this. They are just going to be so thankful. Like, oh man, like, what if we switched and be like, oh, Diana loves me. I am her favorite person. She just, like, I really believe, like, and the way you feel comes across, okay? So our mindsets and our limiting beliefs are the things that make a lot of the difference, okay? Some of you read the post I did, recently, like, I feel like I've been working from fear for the last few years. And when somebody pointed that out to me, Jana pointed it out to me, and I've just really been working through that and praying through it. I just feel like this burden has been lifted, and it's totally affected the way that I've been working, like in a totally different way. And I know I meant well before. It wasn't like I was trying to be ingenuine, but I couldn't shake this fear of, like, it's all gonna go away. I'm doing something wrong. Who am I failing? Like, that's burdening. We burden ourselves, and we don't need to do that. Free yourself from that, you guys. It's possible. Work through that. So it's going to take consistency. It's going to take your mindset, like how you come across, and that's it. Like, it's just really consistency and a positive, good attitude, and just your mindset. So anyway, that is where I'm going to stop talking away. I don't even have any clue how long this is. This is a lot longer than I usually go. I know that. But I don't care. I want to know what questions, if any, that you have. And if you are watching the replay, you are more than welcome to write any, and I'll go back, tag me if you want to. And then I want to know, what questions, let's see if you have any. I wish we were on a Zoom right now so I could, see. So I'm going to give it a minute or so. Oh, thank you, Jan. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, and I don't want to keep you guys too long, but if you do have any later, honestly, ask me anything. I will answer as openly as I can. If you're interested in, okay, well, like, how do you actually get paid? What are the ranks? What are the details of getting paid? Ask that, and I will send, we have all kinds of tools that explain very in detail how the compensation plan works. We will try to do a call on that soon. We did one not too long ago. But yeah, so how are you getting past that fear? Oh, that is a good question, Jeannie. Honestly, it's something called the mindset transformation. I have it right here. Let me show you. I mean, I'm in, let's see. Okay. I'm going to be really vulnerable with you. So I have this thing. This stands for circumstance. Okay. I write this down. This is how I do it. I'm changing my thoughts. Circumstance, thoughts, feelings. What is this? Oh, action, like what you do and the result from it. So here we go. I've been Emerald for 4 years, and I'm 189 pounds right now. Okay. That's the circumstance. There's no thoughts about that. That is fact. I've been Emerald for 4 years. I'm 89 pounds, I believe. Okay. When I see those circumstances, what are my thoughts? I'm stuck. I'm fat. I cannot overcome my weight. No matter how hard I try, I'll always be fat. People do not respect me. I'm stuck because I'm fat. I know that's sad, but these are my thoughts. I'm just being honest with you. When I hear that, what do I feel? Powerless, ugly, unworthy, undeserving, fake, not capable. So what do? When I'm feeling that way? Bad feelings will produce bad results 100% of the time. So when I'm feeling that way, I eat more, I blame my circumstance, I lose my confidence, I lose my belief. And then what are the results? I stay stuck. So let's change this now. Okay. What thoughts? What do you guys think? What can I choose to think instead? No, the circumstance stays the same. Okay. So I can think, you know what? I've made it to a 6-figure income despite my weight, right? Like that should show you something. If I could do it, anybody can. So I've made it a really long way despite my weight. I've learned recently, I've actually been doing good recently, but I've learned how to use my FitnessPal. I have learned the right foods to eat. I've learned how to change my metabolism. I know what works now. I know how to do this. I am capable. I am beautiful. I am healthy. I am successful. Like, I know how to help others. I've gone through this journey so I could show someone else what's possible, and I will overcome this. Now, what if those are my thoughts? How do I feel now? Wow, I feel confident. I feel like my belief is built. I feel good about myself. How does that show up? You know what? I'm going to do a training today. I'm going to make a healthy choice. I've been closing my rings. I'm trying. I'm doing my part, and that's all I can do. So what are my results? Well, actually, during the weight loss challenge, I did lose about 16 pounds, and I'm going to keep going. Like, I've been pretty consistent. And so those are the results. So I don't know, like, that wasn't necessarily fear, Jeannie, but that's how I've been doing it. This coronavirus, I wrote down one for those. What are the facts? There's a virus going around. Things are shutting down. What do I think? Well, I go into like my normal self. I just spiral into like gloom and doom, but I stopped there and I changed it. And I said, thank you, Lord. This is a blessing to slow down. Thank you that they're protecting us. Now, here's the thing. I don't really know the truth of what's going on behind the whole coronavirus thing, but why not choose the good thing, right? Why not choose those thoughts that are going to produce good feelings, which will produce trainings like this and showing up on my social media differently, having fun and being calm with my kids instead of a total psychopath bundled up crying in my bed. Like, we have the power to choose our thoughts. So why not? I am capable. Jeannie, oh my goodness, I can do this. I love people well. People trust me. I have seen good results. I have seen what's possible with my daughter and my friend and even myself. I've reached a gold ambassador, which is the top 2% of the company. Like, that's fantastic. Jeannie, when you hear that, how do you feel? When you stop and you hear those things, and let me not just hear it, when you believe it. And it's not, may not happen overnight, but you've got to believe it. I can do this. People trust me. They want to do it. Like, when you feel it, like, it's amazing, right? Yeah. So that's the key. That's how I did it. Okay. Yes. Choose your positive thoughts. I just love you guys. So while you think of any other questions, just to give you guys a heads up, I mean it with this exposure process, I have been working my business a little bit differently. It has been a relief to me, you guys. I have just been loving on people with no agenda. How are you handling this whole thing right now? Like, my customers, I went through all my customers yesterday, and I was just like, hey, how are you doing through everything right now? Just wanting to check in. Thank you so much. I don't even think I said thank you. I think how are you handling it all? I love voice messages. That's why I don't even know what I said, because I love personal voice message for everyone, and all I did was check in with them. And it sparked a lot of fantastic conversations. But then when someone's interested, I've just added them to Your Health and Wellness. And I've been bold about that. Like, when they're like, oh man, I'm really struggling. Becky, I don't know if Becky's going to watch this. My friend Becky, she is very successful. She did not need the Plexus opportunity. She loves the product. But her income is, in a little bit on the line right now. And so she told me that. She said, I'm a little worried. And I said, well, I don't know if I ever really talked to you about the business opportunity, but if you're open to hearing about it, I'd be happy to tell you. And that's all I said. And she was like, actually, yeah, I would love to know a little bit more about it. And I just said, well, I'm going to add you to this health and wellness group. And you just tell me, if anything sparks in you, and let's learn what the products do. And I just put her in that group and let the group do it, and I'll be following up with her. But let this group do it. So the way we're going to kind of work it is we're still going to do a 3-day trial group the 2nd and 4th month, but then, week, and then we're going to have a big Thursday event on the other alternate days. So every week you're going to have something to invite people to. And all the other posts will be up. They're going to stay in that group, but we're going to organize it in the units. It's so awesome. Diana, where are you? You will love that. Like, go to the units, and it's like you could see the date for the event, and every video with a little caption is on there. Look at me, all green, all organized, which isn't my strength, but it's possible. Okay. Alrighty, ladies. Well, I'm going to let you go. I absolutely love you. If you can think of any question, nothing is off the table, ask away. And if you have something in here and you're like, you know what, I would really love so-and-so to hear this, but they're not, they're not currently with on your team or taking Plexus yet, you can invite them. I want to give you that permission. You can invite them to this group if you think they're genuinely interested and you want them to hear it. It's totally fine. I know it's a little lengthy, but it's okay. All right. I love you all, and I hope, Okay. So it's happily healthy. So I would try to move them over, Jeannie. I think I'm going to keep that more as a resource page. And here's why we did it. Because Jana, first of all, I needed a running partner. I needed somebody to run with, and Jana was ready to get back into it, and it was just came at the same time. Well, she has that page over there, and I had this one over here, the Happily Healthy, and it just makes sense to work together and bring our people together. Well, she had a whole lot more in the Your Health and Wellness than we did in Happily Healthy. So what I'm kind of thinking, I don't want to close that page down because there's some really great testimonies in there. I want to use it as a resource page, like a testimonial page, but the Your Health and Wellness is going to be the one that's really good about it's just going to be the active one with events and things like that. So so we're not going to use it as much anymore, just because the other one was a lot bigger. And then same thing with Thriving and Wellness. That was a kind of a smaller group. That's where we used to do our 3-day ones. And same thing, I just combined it with what Jana's doing. But the other one we may keep as a beauty page. So anyway, I know some changes. I'm trying to do it easily as possible because I'm trying to simplify. We're trying to just simplify. Right now, just worry about the Your Health and Wellness. That's the main one where we'll have events and stuff. So, all right, ladies. Well, have a good night. Thanks for listening. Thanks for staying with me. And again, any questions, anything you need, just let me know. And for this week, our big task, love on people. Reach out, love on everyone. Reach out like you've never loved before, reached out before, and just check in with your people, check in with your team, check in. Don't be afraid to share the opportunity because it changed my life. And don't be afraid just to be bold when you see a need. And when you do it out of love, people will accept that. And then we have that Thursday night event this week. So it's going to be, Jana will promote more of it. But anyway, I will talk to you guys soon and have a good night.